Tables are great for affiliate marketing, especially Amazon affiliate niche sites. And a lot of people ask me, in fact, this is one of the most common questions I get, what table plugin do you use? So that's what we're gonna talk about today. I'm Doug Cunnington. I talk about Amazon affiliate marketing and project management. So have a look around the channel, and if you like what you see, please subscribe. Here's the question of the day. What table plugin do you like to use and why? So tables are awesome, and here's why. You're able to present information in a small area. And especially for Amazon sites, this is great because you could compare different products and say put technical specs in those tables so that you can illustrate your point to the reader as quickly as possible in a small space. When I got started with Amazon affiliate sites, I basically used TablePress all the time. And TablePress is a free plugin, and functionally it was fine, right? It worked and it did what it was supposed to do. It wasn't sort of beautifully formatted or anything like that, but that's okay. It did work. My big complaint about TablePress is the usability. It was kind of a pain to create tables, and it was just hard to use. So I found it very cumbersome and I hated it. I basically hated using it, and I didn't create many tables because it was kind of a pain in the butt to use. So I stopped using TablePress and checked out a couple different other options. Now, currently, here's a big secret. I don't even use a table plugin. Here's what I do instead. I use an HTML table generator. Seems crazy, right? It sounds like it's complicated. You have to know HTML. However, you don't have to know HTML because you can just go to like a free website and you could create the table. And all you have to do is sort of like using a word processor. You just create the table just visually, and then you could get the snippet of code and just insert it onto your website. You have to click over to WordPress text input, but you just put the table in. Now, I'll show you real quick, so be sure to stick around. Thing is, you don't have to use a plugin. And if you've seen a few of my videos, I'm sort of a minimalist on the plugin side. If the plugin is not 100% essential, I will try to find a way to not use it. Even though I have, some friends that have created great table plugins like Amazon Tables, I don't use them because I'd prefer to have fewer plugins and just a flat HTML snippet of code that I could put into the website. It loads fast, it's responsive, and some of these table plugins do have an API connection to the Amazon API, but I don't find that necessary. I usually just grab either a short link from the site stripe or a full link and place it into the table. I don't find it to be too difficult, and again, from my perspective, creating a table in an HTML generator is just as easy as using a plugin to do it, and it's a little bit faster. So that's my option. Don't forget, the question of the day is, what table plugin do you like to use, or do you even use tables, or do you do the HTML generator like me? Thanks for watching this video on tables, and if you're interested in more of my sort of content ideas, be sure to check out the video on scaling content for affiliate sites. And I published a lot of content. In fact, there was a period where I published 200 articles in 5 months and got a huge ROI, something like 120%. It was insane, so be sure to check out that video if you're interested, and subscribe if you are not. Thanks. Here is the table generator that I use. There's a bunch of them out there, and this just happens to be the one that I checked out like back in the day, and it seems to work pretty well. Like I said, this pretty much works like a word processor or something really easy to use. You'll see the menu right here, which is very straightforward. So to create a new table, all you have to do is, click on new table here in the file menu, or you could actually import a CSV file if you wanted to. Now, we'll just create one from scratch. The default is a 3x3, but you can create a pretty big table if you want. We'll make it 6 rows just to fill it in. So at this point, all you have to do is type in some stuff. So let's say I want to add another column here. So I realized I want to add a little bit more. So let's go ahead and we'll add one to the right, and we'll say it's column 4 right there. So there we have it. Very easy to create a table. And then from here, if you wanted to, right, we're talking about Amazon affiliate sites. So you could just put like your affiliate link here, right? So all you would do is copy and paste it in if you wanted to. And it's very straightforward. Now, you're probably thinking, hey, this looks silly, right? The formatting is terrible. So all you would really need to do, and you could highlight the whole row here, you could say, make that bold. And by the way, why don't we change the font for that one so it looks a little bit, stands out. You can make the font a different size too. So let's make it bigger so it actually looks like the heading row. And oh, you know what? Let's just use a theme of like what it could be formatted like. So why don't we go with this, and then so that's that part. And we could do the borders, right? So why don't we do rows like that? And I kind of like the alternating row coloration as well. So we close that and we see this is formatted pretty nice right off the bat, right? Very simple to use. Now, what you can do as well is say, let's see, you can do a couple little settings here, like make the table responsive. We do want to do that. So we could say make the table responsive, and there's a couple other stuff like enable sorting if you wanted to, right? So now there's a little extra functionality in here. I usually don't do that sorting thing, but you can if you want to. You can say compact mode, so it puts it all in one line here. And then let's just preview it. So we see here's what it looks like as it is. And I don't really like the font up there, so I'm going to change that. So again, all you have to do is highlight the entire row. Let's change it to impact. Now let's preview that. And yeah, I like that a little bit better, but let's change this sort of theme look right here. And I want to change the border to just like a normal grid. All right, now let's preview that. As you can see, very straightforward. So really all you have to do is like build it right here. And then you, again, make sure it's responsive. You do want to make sure it's responsive. Then you copy it to the clipboard, and then you go paste it into WordPress or however you're publishing your site. And it's great. Now the cool thing here, right, is once you have the format, you don't have to come back here and do this every time. You could actually edit the HTML. If you look here, if you're just moderately familiar with HTML or coding, then you see that you could just, update the columns each time. And essentially you have here a template of a table, and you could just use the same format over and over again if you want. You couldn't do this in compact mode. Again, it's all in one line here, but if you have it formatted, then it's pretty straightforward to come into the code and just make the edits. You could keep this like in a text file and just make the changes or create a table whenever you want. And again, for me, I don't know, maybe I'm weird, but I would prefer to do this versus use a cumbersome plugin. I mean, I usually just have issues with plugins. You have trouble with compatibility with other plugins and conflicts, and you have to update them every now and then. In this, it's just HTML, it's straight up code, and it loads fast.